Welcome to the Love Frequency. This is Lola Luv Lee, your host. And as always, I'm in that love place. So, this episode is entitled, I Am My Own Partner. I am on a healing journey because I need to figure out what it is I need, who I really am, and where it is I am really going in this thing called life, in this experience. I have realized only in the last 30 days of the half a century that I've been on this planet that I am my own partner. And I've been actively doing it now. I want to say for 6 months, but it really hasn't been 6 months. I've been kind of going through the machinations of being my own partner. I've been going through this robotic thing of moving through life, but I have not intrinsically and intentionally partnered with myself until now. And I want to say that this happened in the last 3 months that I've decided to be my own partner and to really sit with myself and to experience myself and to experience the things that I love and don't love about myself and to decide whether I want to change those things, work on those things, grow those things that are wonderful about me, and if I how I want to move through life and how I want to present myself to myself, not to anyone else. That is the true partnership. I watched a bunch of videos about self-partnering and what that really means to people. And to me, it means how I will present to me and no one else. Because ultimately, this is about having 100% accountability of self when you're self-partnering or when you are your own partner. And it also is about taking this 100% attitude that I don't care what other people think about how I take care of myself. I just take care of myself because that is my number one goal on this earth, or that is my number one priority while I'm here in this world. And so I am really enjoying this self partnership, even though it is sometimes very difficult to self partner. It is difficult to be my own partner. Now, transitioning out of my second marriage, it was very painful. And my heart was healing in the beginning. So that is why I was going through the motions, quote unquote, of like partnering with myself. I was really just taking care of the day to day things that needed to be taken care of for myself. But I really wasn't partnering with myself. I really wasn't being the partner that I'd like to see in my life for myself. And I think that that's where we're missing the boat in this excuse me, in this self partnering, is that we have to be the partner we want to see for ourselves so that the person that can show up that would appreciate that partner can see that we already know what we're doing. And I'm gonna X that out and not say they can see that we are already being that and that the person that is equivalent to that need shows up because we're already being a divine partner to ourselves. Now, backtracking just a little bit, little history. I have been, like I said, taking care of the basic needs. But in the last 30 to 60 days, there's been a shift in me that has decided that I should show up for myself. It has also decided that I should play, but there's been a lot of pushback on playing and a lot of resistance to play and a lot of resistance to taking care of myself. A lot of like, I don't want to do that. A lot of inner child resistance, a lot of sabotage, the saboteur, the inner child, all coming forward and saying, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want you to do that. Oh, you don't need to do that. We can do A, B, C, D instead, and let me sabotage you in some way, and being the victim while going through this process of being my own partner. And it's been very wonderful to be able to go through, number one, the four basic archetypes that every person has is we have the inner child, we have the victim, we have the saboteur, and we have the prostitute. All of us have that. there's no getting around it. For those of you who are listening to this, like, I don't have the prostitute. You do, because you go to work. And so that means you're willing to sell a part of your soul or a part of yourself to retrieve something in return. And that was what the prostitute archetype is about. The victim is that you feel as though you are the person that is suffering because everybody else is making it victim. And your child is self-explanatory, and the victim, the saboteur, the child, and the prostitute. So we talked about all of them, you know. And I have watched in this process of me going from just, following the notion or following the day and not taking care of myself, sabotaging my diet, sabotaging my health. I had a very big download of the health issues that I've been dealing with, or simply because my victim wants attention. And so I had to soothe her in a way that was loving and kind. And I had to partner with her so that we could figure out what it is that she needs so that she doesn't feel like a victim, and she needs to be included. So I've included my inner victim in the conversation with myself about how we're moving forward and taking care of ourselves. It is a complete process of me sitting down with myself and either journaling or I actually talk to myself. And I pull that person out of me. I sit in quietness, and then I say, I'd like for you to come forward so that we can have a conversation. And then I say to her, what is it that you need so that you don't have to feel like you need to be sick in order to get help? Or how can I partner with you so that we can move through this and forward? And it's been an eye-opening experience to do that. That has been the biggest thing for me in self-partnering that I've done, is talk to the inner energies that are inside of me, the characteristics, characteristics inside of me, the archetypes inside of me that are living, breathing archetypes that have their own experience, almost as though they're personalities, but they have their own experience because they're living vicariously in me and through me, and they're expressing through me. So to sit down with them and to actually give them space to be seen, heard, and validated, and then to give them options that are going to move us away from the victimhood, away from the wounded child, away from the prostitute energy, the giving ourselves without really understanding what we are giving up just so that we can get something that is not needed, that we should give ourselves to give ourselves. That's you know, the victim who will give up, or the prostitute will give up parts of their self and not realize that they're giving up parts of themselves that they could just give to themselves, you know? And sitting with those portions of myself and saying, hey, how can I help you to move from the past to the future? Or from the past to the future? How can I help you to release and let go of the things that are really not serving us in this moment, that are not for us, that don't breed joy and happiness in us, that make us feel constricted instead of open and expressive. And so I've taken this self-partnering to another level for myself, where it's not just that I balance my checkbook and learn how to save and, get rid of a bunch of stuff and downsize the things that I'm holding on to that are not serving me, or the things that I'm holding on to because they make me feel like I'm not alone, because stuff will give you this sense of security. And how can I move away from that? And then how can I move into that more time to play, more time to enjoy life, have fun, breathe and move and be healthy? How can I move towards those things? And it's been a wonderful trip, but it's been a battle at times. To battle these energies inside of you is can be hard. To sit with these energies and hear what they have to say about you, to you. It's been very hard at times. And even just like telling you about the being sick and saying, hey, like my mind said, you don't, you can choose not to be sick. You can choose, and then it's like you're using this sickness to get attention. Probably, and it literally said you're using this sickness to get attention from your husband. And I was like, whoa, to sit in that. And I was like, whoa, well, are we? Because, I am physically having issues. However, I'm moving through them in a way that is healing me and in the way that I am healed right now, in this right now moment. Let's just say that. So it's just very interesting to be your own partner. And I am my own partner. Like ultimately, I am the one that has to make sure that I'm conscious of when the oil needs to be changed in my car and who's taking out the trash and how this bill is being paid. And I used to do it before, and it's not something I have never done before. And it's wonderful to be in partnership with another soul in this world, in this crazy thing called life. It's wonderful to that. But there is something just so sweet about the freedom of partnering with yourself and not being obligated to explain what it is you're doing to anyone and doing the right thing for you in the right now moment without explanation. But then being able to transition that to when your divine partner does show up, moving in your energy and in your space and moving in that creative action and moving in that inspired action to act for yourself, and then being able to stand in that decision and say, hey, we are both here acting for ourselves in inspired action, and then coming together and acting together in inspired action. And there is no judgment on how I'm going to look at how you move in life, and there should be no judgment on how I'm going to move in life. We are one, but we are still our own selves, and we have autonomy in ourselves. And that's, I think, ultimately what I'm looking for in the next go round. And I'm excited to see how that turns out for me too, because it's just surrendering to that and being open to that experience, and knowing that everything is a blessing and a lesson, and everything is happening for me and not to me. So it's just been a process. I want to challenge you guys in this process of self-partnering for you to start to take a look at what it is going on in the internal chatter, how your mind is actually speaking to you, who's talking to you. Is it your inner child? Is it your inner victim? Is it your inner saboteur? Or is it that inner prostitute that is talking to you? Who is saying that they demanding your attention? And give them the attention so that you can figure out how you work. And once we start to really find out how we work on the inside, it's just going to show on the outside that we're doing the work. It's just going to show up in the body. It's going to show up in the physical. Not only will your body show up for you, the health, the wealth, the joy, the love that you're looking for will show up when you start to self partner. You start to do the work and take care of yourself. Magical things will happen. You just start to feel better. Yes, there's an ebb and flow. Yes, there's an up and down. Yes, there's an in and out. And yes, there's a black and white. And this is just one of the things. There's going to be yin to yang always. There's got to be balance. But if you start to take care of yourself, you will start to see more wonderful things happening. You will start to see that you are worth showing up for yourself. You are worth being here for yourself, and you are worth being your own partner. So say it with me, say it loud, say it proud. I am my own partner. That's okay. One more time, say it again. I am my own partner. And remember that you are perfect, whole, and complete, and a radiant point of light. I'm blessed by your presence, lovelies. Thank you so much for showing up. And remember to stay in the love frequency. I'll see you next week. Bye.